Merlin S, who is playing a pretty interesting dinosaur deck with new cards, of course, versus Farid K, which we will see what he's playing through the match. So let's start directly with the game one.
So we're seeing a normal summon, I think, of Raptor on Merlin's side. I think Ferret is playing Invoked.
It looks like
It looks
that,
like
yeah.
Invoked, yes. Invoked Wind Witch. I see already. He has pretty decent hand, actually. But we haven't even seen what Merlin has in his hand, because he's playing a quite different build than the player before. He has
Exactly.
like the baby Cerasauruses in his main deck, and more True Kings, actually, or actual True Kings. But still playing the Yang Xing combo in a small part, or more smaller part.
Okay, so we see 3 back row on Merlin's side. He's playing kind of big back row with strikes, barrier, warning, 9 pillar of the Yang
And a
Xings,
Quaking.
which we probably going to explain afterwards if he is going for the combo.
Wow. I see already in Farid's main deck already Lancia, main decked.
So he's probably also playing Sanctum.
Okay, he has a lot of field spells right now. I think he has all of them, because he had already one starting hand and he's searching for 2.
Would he use the second immediately?
I usually I also play the deck. I usually would rather bluff set the second one, because you can't do that much with 3 field spells in your hand. You can only activate it once anyways.
Especially giving your opponent the information that you have a second
yes.
one, yeah.
This way you keep it more in mystery. The interesting thing is he has Alistair plus Wonder Wand, and I think he has the Wind Witch, which can special summon itself for making the one Crystal Wing, I think.
Oh, so he has like
The Glass
all
Ballad is, I think.
Okay.
So he can play for the entire combo if the back row. I think there will be some major back row from Merlin come in, because he's playing like really great lineup. Actually, all Solemns plus double barrier. The barrier would be interesting if he has one face down, because it would only partially stop him from his plays. Because he can either go to synchros or fusions, and he can only stop one. Oh, he's actually flipping the barrier. No, it's getting striked.
Seems alright.
Yes. So he's going for the Alistair normal summon. Let's see if he gets. Oh wow, this thing gets warning as well. That's a pretty huge warning right there, because now he doesn't have any follow-up plays anymore. He has double. He has Raigeki. He has the Wonder Wand, which is doing nothing, and 2 times the field spell, which is also doing nothing at all.
But I'm not sure if the play was correct from Merlin's side.
Why?
Well, because he puts himself on a 1 turn clock, more or less, because he knows that Farid has like other Alistairs for the next turn, because he has like 2 magical meltdowns in hand.
He has an Infinite in his hands, a Baby Ceratosaurus, and what is this last card which Merlin has in his hand? Ah, it's a Halo. Okay.
So could imagine that he's going to attack with both and then summoning Danglong to search 9 pillars. And he's playing 1 Swanee in the main deck, so he could even smash summon something afterwards.
He's going to the battle phase.
So 2000 damage. I think Aula has 200 attack, right?
It's really low. Between 200 and 500, I think.
Looks like 200. Then yeah, he goes into Danglong to search probably 9 pillar. Unless 9 pillar is already face down.
That he will see now.
He's going to search, so
He does not play any other 9 Yang Xing cards that you might be able to search. So if he draws it, then he has already drawn it.
well, he could search Swanee. Yeah, what he is doing right now.
Okay, so now it's going to be interesting. Is the back row then actually the actual counter trap?
think it has to be, otherwise he would have searched it.
If it is, then he can actually blow out Farid entirely with negating again another Alistair normal summon, which would be devastating because then he would be out of the game at all completely. Oh, he draws another Glass Bell, I think. Wow. That's a huge top deck.
Could be worse.
Because now he has multiple options to try to bait out the Danglong and still go for Crystal Wing, which might be pretty huge.
I was pretty sure. I'm not sure if this plays correctly.
Okay, he's activating first his Glass Bell in his hands. Oh no, it's Glass Bell. Or what?
No, I'm pretty sure it's the other one. It's not Glass Bell, the name.
I think it's Ice Bell.
Yeah, Ice Bell. And he's using 9 pillar.
Okay.
So negating it.
Would you rather have Glass Bell eating the trap or Alistair?
So you mean Ice Spell? I would probably go with Alistair because he still has a Meltdown in hand.
I think he is still good to go though because he has the Meltdown plus being able to recover his resources again with the Wonder Wand. So he will be able to draw into more cards and still go for some of his fusion plays that he would like to do. Of course, it depends on what he's actually going to draw with the Wonder Wand now. The amazing thing is you can use Alistair from field and graveyard with this card as a fusion material, so you can always send it with Wonder Wand. It has no drawbacks. So he's opting to do it and is going to draw 2 cards.
So I don't know exactly why Danglong is still on the field.
Maybe...
Didn't he use 9 pillar?
That's actually true. Why is Danglong still on the field? I'm quite kind of confused as well.
Okay, so our man Wally is quickly checking it. Either way, Farid drew the 2 cards and now he's going with
we're
right
gonna
kick.
see if we're gonna replay this thing, depending on...
Yeah, pretty sure on that. Yeah, so... Okay, yeah. So it was already in the graveyard and Farid will take back the Raigeki.
I'm still not sure what he has drawn actually. I think he drew a barrier?
Looks like a trap card here.
Which might be great. Oh, I think Merlin has an Effect Feller and a Crow in his hand? Am I right?
Crow could be like...
Novella he's
it gives him like another turn.
Yes. Although he has two Alistairs in his
it.
graveyard actually, so I think he can't stop the fusion summon at all. He can try to get rid of the Alistairs, but they are gonna get back to his end anyways.
What he can do is TD crowing the invocation.
Yes, that he's doing, which is a great play.
It's alright, yeah.
When you're getting rid of both invocations, usually then the Alistair is not doing that much anymore in the deck.
So Mekaba
hitting
like another Solemn Judgment like monster, which we saw already kind of a lot today.
Okay, we have Swanee, Baby Ceratosaurus, and what's the third card?
And that's game. So
oh wow,
Merlin's opening hand wasn't that great.
So we see taking Alistair with his Wind Witches taking the win. But it was pretty great to have 2 Ice Bells, 2 turns in a row.
Wouldn't complain about that, yeah.
I think you and I agree that you shouldn't have searched all the 3 field spells at once, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But maybe this was actually the key to his victory, because this way his deck was thinner to get faster to his Ice Bell, so there's always 2 sides of the coin. Interesting.
I wasn't sure if the play of Merlin was correct to search the Babysaur with Oviraptor and not like the
Miscellaneous Horse?
To get him like probably another turn or another beat stick to maybe make a play afterwards. But yeah, let's go to the side deck
Yeah,
of Merlin.
Yes. What do we have here?
The Dogoran, which he's probably not going to side because he will start. Lancia could see that actually, even if he starts, because it can be a blowout against the occasion.
Necrovate is an interesting side deck card that he has there, which might stop this deck also pretty great.
So the Twin Twister, not that sure if he's going to start. Raigeki, Dark Hole, not necessarily. Imperial
Order will be great. Anti-Spell Fragrance looks also promising, and Royal Decree might be also interesting, but it won't interact that much with the two traps beforehand.
Yeah. So
let's see
I think he is actually also well prepared to go like for going first with the anti-spell and Imperial Order to like shut down everything, all the
because
plays
then
of Farid.
Farid is completely locked down to his monster effects and his traps.
And to be honest, I would actually love to see the combo play of Merlin, which deck offers. We will see if we get to it, and otherwise we're going to explain it shortly after the match.
He's actually playing 6 True Kings in his main deck, which is Agnimazut and the Earth one, Litu Gazim, but he was not able to draw any one of them in the starting hand because then his field would be completely different in game 1.
Absolutely.
With the Baby Cerosaurus.
Okay, so what would you imagine to be in Farid's side?
For going second against this specific deck, wow. I'm not actually quite familiar with the first turn fields you can lay down with this thing, but I think Darko and Raigeki might be a great side deck choice for going second. I would keep in the D barriers, I think, still for negating some of the monsters that you can set. I think strikes are maybe not that great anymore on this side, and maybe some kaijus, maybe, depending on how much space he has, especially when he can bust out some really nice, stunning synchro monsters.
Okay, so we see Merlin starting with Fossil Dick for Soul Eating Oviraptor. The hope is there for the combo.
I think I saw a little Gazm as the top card that he has. Then he just needs another Earth one to destroy. Yeah, also an interesting thing is to actually special summon the Litogazm with actually destroying 2 Earth monsters, because this will gonna give him some advantage, knowledge about his extra deck, more of opponent's extra deck, and banishing some of his key parts or key cards.
Okay, so he opens Dull Fossil Dick.
Okay.
Seems alright.
When he actually has now the Litogazm, then he's able to extend his space to make a pretty great board first. And he has Agnimazut.
Okay.
Can you explain what the True Kings actually do?
Okay, so the True Kings, they're kind of similar to the Dragon Rulers, the old ones. You can special summon them from your hand by destroying on your field or in your hand 2 monsters with at least 1 monster that has the same attribute as the True King you want to summon. And if you're summoning by destroying 2 monsters of the same attribute, they get additional effects. For example, for Agnimazut would be like banishing a monster from the field or graveyard from your opponent. But now we're going to see like the pretty cool combo that the deck offers. And that's now with Danglong. He searches the 9 pillar, and as we already discussed, I think in the second round, Danglong can send any worm type monster from the deck to the graveyard to get its to adjust its own level.
So he can send also the big level 9ers
exactly
to go for maybe a rank 9 play.
We will see now Tzolk'in.
Or that, because he needs for his pseudo synchro summoning 2 level 5 or higher monsters.
With with the same level, and one has to be a tuner monster.
Yes.
And as we now have like 2 level 9 monsters on the field, we're probably going to see.
Interesting would be to see Enter Bloodnir actually also, but I don't think that he will do it. Phantom Fortress.
I think there's no reason to do it first turn, especially as it's not as strong as a Crystal Wing if you're starting. Like afterwards maybe. And now because he searched 9 pillar, he has automatically the card to set face down for Tzolk'in to summon Crystal Wing.
Yes.
And as he has enough dinosaur monsters in the graveyard, he can banish now the Miscellaneous Miscellaneous, thank you, to special summoning another level 4 monster from the deck. Okay, so
He's
he's using
search.
Danglong after setting 2 cards. I think he disagreed with his opponent that it's not too late, so we won't complain there.
No.
Okay, I'm actually curious.
Which rank 4s does he play there, which might be great? Take us to Emerald for recycling he has?
I'm pretty sure you won't overlay there because you have the 9 pillar face down, which would be dead otherwise.
Yes, I agree.
So normally he should have 4 dinosaur monsters in the graveyard.
Yes, a yellow, a Miscellaneous, a baby Cerosaurus, and what would be the last one?
Just thinking.
It's not another Miscellaneous. So maybe he has 3, so he can't do it.
Okay.
Okay, we have, I think, a Quaking Mirror Force, a Twin Twisters. The Twin Twisters are directly getting blown.
And he's
on the back row?
discarding the artifact
Scythe.
So we see now 9 pillar.
So Twin Twisters will be shuffled back into the deck, not being sent to the graveyard, which is maybe a major key because maybe you redraw it again, which changed the game. But is he thinking maybe to change something? This is why he's not still shuffling it back.
Well, he probably can't change anything to a counter trap.
That's actually true. So I think he forgot to shuffle back his Twin Twisters. I think they're just continuing without shuffling back the Twin Twisters. Which might change the result of the game. We don't know. He still has 2 back row, which is a Quaking Mirror Force and a Dimensional Barrier, I think. And he has an Alistair plus Invocation in his hand, so he still has some plays. The problem is the Crystal Wing. Getting over the Crystal Wing is going to be quite a difficult task. The benefit is now that even if he negates the Alistair, he still is able to fusion summon.
So does Merlin play a second monster that he could summon with Tzolk'in?
I think they realize that they have to shuffle back the Twin Twisters.
I think our man Walle was on his runaway again to get that fixed.
I think Merlin is checking which kind of protection is getting offered for Tzolk'in.
And I think the protection is that it can't be attacked as long as he controls synchros, a level 8 or higher synchro sound monster, something like that. I'm not sure about it.
Is it an actual Alistair? I can't see the last card. Maybe it's another artifact, which would be pretty bad.
Yeah, but even Alistair wouldn't be that great at the moment because of Crystal Wing. But maybe he tries to survive the turn, and then using Barrier to negate the Crystal Wing. And then
it would be interesting what he might do when he's actually chaining the Barrier to maybe another Tzolk'in summon, and then not changing the Crystal Wing to defense mode, because then this card might be face down much faster than he thinks. Question is, does he has any spell or traps that he can set? Does he even have another target actually? He has Trishula in his extra deck. I think Crystal Wing is the only target he has, so he does not even have the option to summon another Synchro monster. Yes. Except he doesn't play any Synchro monsters in his side deck. So I think he's using Miscellaneous now to get a level 2. Now he tries to get the benefit of Oviraptor to get another maybe Baby Cerosaurus to destroy it again, to special summon. I think it's a yellow from his graveyard to also trigger the Baby Cerosaurus to get even more advantage, maybe getting another Oviraptor to have really strong rank 4 play with dinosaurs.
Either for Lagia, or if Barrier gets called on Nexus, he can go into Trishula. I think I like that about the deck, that you don't lose automatically to a dimensional barrier, or just like to have to end your turn because of a dimensional barrier, because you get the option to synchros.
Yeah.
Or
Now he might be also able to search the boss monster of the deck, the level 8, the ultimate Tyranno, which would be also a pretty interesting choice. Because then he would have a lot of attack on the field. Backing up by a Lagia would be a really great move. He's actually searching it, yes. So I think he also has 2 dinosaurs. No, he will have 2 dinosaurs till then in his graveyard.
okay,
So
yeah,
now we are seeing maybe the dimensional barrier flips
on synchros. So
I
yeah,
presume, and now he is gonna go into Lagia to be safe from the other back row, except if it's a strike or something. Yeah, it's Lagia. Evils are Lagia.
will probably result. Yeah. I think is there a way for Farid to getting back into this game?
It's gonna be difficult. I think he needs to bait the Lagia and like top deck some board wipe. That would be pretty good coming back, but it's still difficult, especially if he has enough for his boss monster, because then he has enough attack to make it game.
Yeah, and now he has, because he discarded Mysticosaurus. And yeah, we see there 6-5. Yeah,
That's more than enough for game.
especially as a back row. Yeah.
Yeah, because Lagia can negate spells, traps, and summons. It's a solemn judgment, which is legal.
I think I'm not 100% sure of like Farid's decision to call synchro to prevent the how is it called, the Trishula. I probably would have waited until the summon, because he has the Quaking Mirror Force to stay in the game.
And the problem would be he had a clogged field. He wouldn't be able to special summon it. No, he would be able still to end on the field with, I think, Oviraptor. What was the other level 4 that he used for Lagia?
Second Oviraptor.
Second Oviraptor, he would have like 3,600 plus Crystal Wing. He would still have enough attack for... he wouldn't be able to negate the...
Exactly,
That's
that's
true.
the point, yeah.
Yeah.
So he could have
Oh no,
had the chance.
no. Still, I think Trishula could have just banished it.
Yeah, well, if Trishula is summoned and you're using the Dimensional Barrier to negating Synchros,
Yeah, that's actually a great move.
because I'm pretty sure Merrin would have still summoned the Ultimate Tyranno Conductor to go for game, and then he would probably, not lose everything, but it's face down and you can't do anything else with it.
It's still some assumptions that we're doing. Maybe he would have played it more conservatively. We don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, for game 3, pretty sure for Merlin he's going to side in Regeki Darkhold.
Yeah, I presume he will go second, and he will side out all the maybe sided in Imperial Orders and anti-spell fragments. And I presume Farid will also side in some interesting side deck options. I don't actually know what would you side against this dinosaur build with true Dracos and synchro options.
It's actually kind of difficult to say. I could imagine Ghost Match could be kind of huge.
Yes.
Because I think Lagia and Doka are both fire monsters, and it's not often that you're going to summon just 2 Mysticosaurs.
It's true. And actually, the deck Farid is playing is usually really locked into wind monsters most of the time, and they are not that concerned about this type to have it on the field, because they still can fusion summon with the Alastors from the graveyard. We just have to get them somehow into the graveyard.
Exactly. Otherwise, I think like with normal trap cards with Dimensional Barrier, Strike, Warning, stuff like that, you're in a pretty good position, especially going first against the dinosaur deck.
As far as my experience, it's pretty huge to actually strike the when the player is setting up a Agnimazut or a True King Litugazm play, and he's searching the Babysaurus to his hand, and then you are striking the True King, because then they are usually blown out and they have dead cards in their hands that they can't use anymore.
Yeah.
So I think he will maybe now play with 3 barriers, 3 strikes, and 1 warning main now to hold up anything he could do.
We will see it.
Let's see if we will see now finally one indestructible crystal wing. That would be interesting. See how dinos are gonna deal with it. Maybe just Book of Mundus and run it over. It's the easiest option with the boss monster.
Well, couldn't he negate the effect to Book of Mundus with
He
crystal? Okay.
But of course, dinos have multiple options to bait the crystal wing, so you have to be carefully what you would like to negate.
So let's see. So Fari is probably going to start. So he has a. Does he have a Lancia in hand? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. We have the field spell.
Yep.
In action. I think he has 2 artifacts. I think he has Scythed End.
Yes. The terraforming again. Not 100% sure if the play is correct. Platztasche ganz hinten. So he's down to Alistair, searching invocation. But his start isn't that great, to be honest.
He's missing out on some traps right now. And I think, I don't know what...
And also summoning like Mekaba like this, it's okay, but it's not that great. Like, so Merlin is, what is he thinking about?
Maybe he wants to bluff a Maxi that he has, but
he's here. Okay. That's huge, because
that means he can't resolve invocation, because you can only send monsters from the hand to. He has a Sanctum still, which is a pretty good interruption card, but the other 2 artifacts are pretty bad in his hand right now. Okay.
Well, Sanctum can be huge.
That is still a great card, but
just like summoning a Scythe to end the big combos.
So let's see what Merlin has. They're reading the. They're reading again the field spell, but I think it's still legal to react with Lancia to this card, because it just only prevents negations of the summon. So it does not prevent the negation, but it's kind of negating. It's not actually negating. It's just not properly resolving.
It's, I think, the same thing like a Dimensional Barrier, which is still possible to activate, because it just can like prevent that fusion summons, that fusion monster can be summoned, but you're not negating the spell on its own.
So that was fair. So we have in Merlin's hand
a lot of traps and a True King.
Quite interesting that he has so many traps in his hand, although he went second. As Twin Twister, which he will not activate, I promise you right now, because he does not want to blow up the Sanctum.
Yeah.
Or maybe he would use it just to force out to special one of his special summons. Maybe he wants to force the Scythe somehow, so that he can go for other plays that he cannot disrupt with Moral Tech if he's playing it. Or Lancia, depending on what. Oh, he's setting 2. And he passes his turn. So now he is activating the second field spell to get another copy of Alistair. Let's see if the next fusion summon is also getting interrupted, because if this happens, then he's gonna have a problem recovering his cards. Then he needs to get his Alistair's banished somehow in a different way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he won't be able to get them back to his hand, which is usually the problem that you have with Invoked.
So he's thinking about using Twin Twister?
He's Twin Twisting during his turn. No, he's discarding as a cost the 9 pillars. The drawback of Sanctum is you can also use it during your turn. The monsters won't trigger, but you lose your battle phase.
Exactly.
So
he decided to not use Sanctum.
But now he can use its secondary effect. When it's destroyed, he can just target another card on the field and destroy it. And this is it a barrier?
Okay.
It's a barrier. So he might want to chain it.
So was played kind of interesting by Farid, by Merlin, just setting face down the barrier, especially as he knew what will happen.
So he has a Quaking Mirror Force still in his hand. He did not. He's asking if he can attack, but he didn't activate it, so he still has a battle phase this turn. And the move was smart, so that he does not get the second Alistair.
Okay, so he throws one of the small guys, or the small dinosaurs.
They're not really helpful. He has the boss monster also in his hand, which he can't summon because he has no dinosaurs in his grave.
Yes. And there's another terraforming.
Wow.
It's incredible how many...
He's like the master of the field spell. He has it like 6 times during 2 games. That's incredible. Now he's going to search with Alistair. So he has now just a face down Quaking Mirror Force.
And Farid... Yeah, well, what does he have?
If he's smart, I think I would just attack with the Alistairs first. Just to see if he can bait the back row. Because he can fusion summon anyways, always turn
okay,
in main
what
phase 2.
happened there? Okay.
He's just checking his graveyard, I think.
There's just like something flying around. Doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness, does he actually has 2 another... he still has the Scythe and all those death cards in his hand. Which are not working.
Well, I would be actually kind of careful with...
Yeah.
With Invocation, because now if he would get Lanciat...
Then he's out of invocations.
Yeah. So it was kind of risky to play, in my opinion.
Is he going for mech cover?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I would have just went for the attack to see if it's maybe Mirror Force, just to get it baited out, because now it's going to be a little bit more difficult if he's going to book the Mechaba and the Alistair, because then he just has 2 book monsters that he can't use anymore, and he does not have a trap to negate the Quaking.
He can still fusion summoning them.
That's true.
Away.
What he also can do is tribute summoning his artifacts if he wants to. So now they're getting set.
Okay. So they put a counter on them just to know that there can't be. Okay.
Oh, he drew a Miscellaneousaurus?
That's huge, because now he has a combo in hand.
I don't... which combo do you see there?
Because if he has to... or which monster does he have in hand? Is it...
It's Petit Pteranodon and the
it's
boss
not,
monster.
Okay, it's not a True King. My bad.
No, he does not have a True King. So the problem...
I thought it was a True King, okay.
The problem is he does not have 2 dinosaurs to get the big boss monster out. No way he can do it right now on this turn.
So actually, we could see that he's just passing again.
The only way how you would be able to do it if you would play a level 3 Synchro that he can sync with a yellow and the level 2 Petit Pteranodon. That would be a play. So now Merlin is on the edge actually, because he knows that his opponent still has the Alistair, which can search again Invocation. In this way he can finally get some attacks in and getting out some stun monsters, because he can still fusion some for another Mechaba. He draws, I think it's Winterbell. His draws are pretty bad. He has so many dead cards in his hand, but he's still able to get through this.
I mean,
quite impressive.
It's absolutely not a bad position for Farid.
No.
Because like the only way back with the hand of Merlin is to draw a True King, and he can just negate it with another Mechaba. Question is now if Farid is playing 2, but I think so.
I think so. I've usually playing at least 2, maybe even 3. And the problem is he would like to banish anything from Merlin's graveyard, but he does not have any monsters. He has only traps and spells. So I would presume he would fusion summon with the face down Alistair now to get more damage in. And I don't know. Would you use the Mechaba from the field, or would you keep it there just sitting face down?
I would actually take the Mechaba from the field, because okay,
he's using Scythe. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Really interesting.
Is Invocation specifying any face-up Alistairs that he has to use?
Not as far as I know.
No. It's interesting. Because this way he would have another Alistair on his field and in his hand still, and the other one would be able still to attack. He's still in the resolution. He still is able to change his mind if he wants to. until the monster is not on the field, he can still opt to do it differently. And now he's actually also contemplating about this decision because he has not fully resolved the fusion.
I think Merlin is basically asking, because the invocation is kind of it's written kind of difficult, that you can pretty easily misunderstand it, what you can fuse actually.
Should I read it? It's fusion summon one fusion monster from your active deck using monsters from your hand as fusion materials.
Exactly.
Summoning an invoked fusion monster this way, you can also banish monsters from your field or either player's graveyard as fusion materials. But I think it doesn't matter which fusion spell it is. Usually when you fusion summon, you're validating the actual fusion materials with the fusion summon itself. So you're revealing your opponent the actual fusion materials, so you would be able to use the face down Alistair. But he's not opting to do it, so...
It's actually interesting that he leaves the 2 monsters on the field. Probably it could be because of time.
The interesting thing is now all those clunky monsters in his hand are getting useful if Merlin is trying to top deck out with some good monster effects, because he can just negate any one of them. Except when he's drawing Oviraptor and having the Miscellaneousaurus getting dropped first. As we've learned during the match before, it's quite problematic.
So Merlin is thinking about situation.
The question
because
is, what does he have?
He knows he has to do something, because otherwise next turn Farid is searching with Alistair again invocation. I'm pretty sure he can like fusion summoning something that has at least 2000 attack points.
Yeah, he has the Winter Bell in his hand. He can go for Raideen and this will be more than enough damage on board, because he has only 4. Oh, he's actually said he does not have any plays.
Yeah.
He has plays. This is a combo, and he has no spell in his hand.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually pretty huge, because now he can trigger his Petit Pteranodon to get his monsters out. Wow.
So cool, we see a comeback here. So what happened? Yeah, since forever. So he now can special summoning Oviraptor.
The Dark Hole is pretty huge here.
It's again this dinosaur deck is like a little bit early Young Sing deck, where you also decided to normally a Dark Hole over Aigeki because it has like this interaction with your own cards.
Yes, Dark Hole is a pretty great combo card in the deck itself, because you can start off, especially with the field spell, which is he is not running. You can make some pretty disgusting fields just with a Dark Hole, one of the small Baby Ceratosaurus or Petit Pteranodon plus the field spell. You can drop in like double Lagia or double Dolka or any other combinations. So it's going to be interesting now. What is the face down that Farid has set there several turns ago? I don't remember. Now Merlin needs to keep in mind he can't attack with the Oviraptor because Petit Pteranodon is forbidding it.
Oh, really?
Yes, it special summons level 4 or higher dinosaurs, and because of that, he has the restriction that you can't attack with the monster the turn it's summoned during its effect, using its effect. Baby Ceratosaurus is differently because he's summoning level 4 or lowers, and he does not have this restriction, especially because it's an older card as well. So
what is pretty interesting is that both cards aren't once per turn.
Yes, especially with Baby Ceratosaurus, you can loop them itself because Baby Ceratosaurus does not specify himself. Interesting, he's searching again for another Oviraptor.
Is that possible?
It's possible. He can search himself. The problem is he still can use only his effect once per turn, both of them. So he's discarding Miscellaneousaurus.
So I'm pretty sure he will respond with Artifact Lancia at this point.
He has to think because Miscellaneousaurus is banishing as a cost, so he won't be able to react to it directly. He has to discard it preemptively. In this way, he's also able to shut down any special summons of the boss monster itself. But he does not know that he has it in his hand.
So it looks like he decides not to.
Okay. And now he's chaining.
Okay, that's weird.
It's actually interesting.
So probably it's because he wasn't aware that
it's banishing as a cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, it's another Sanctum he has face down. And does he play 3 scythes? He does.
Looks like that.
Oh, it's the second. I think it's a third.
And I think now it looks...
Now it looks pretty bad for Merlin, because the problem is he's not able to go into the extra. He cannot special summon his boss monster, and he has to leave out... he has to keep the Aiello in attack position, actually, because he already summoned it, I think. Is he keeping it in def? Okay. Merlin has no place now. He can normal summon and not do anything with the Oviraptor.
Yeah.
So did he top deck another Sanctum? So Alistair is coming down. I think we could see now a Magellanica for raw damage and getting rid of the Petit Pteranodon in the graveyard, so that he does not have any more setup cards in his graveyard.
Especially as I'm pretty sure Mechaba, he doesn't have any Mechabas left.
Yeah, either that or he can go for Raideen, but I don't know if his book effect is that great against another monster which is also book effect. It's a pretty intense game, actually. It's pretty interesting how it goes back and forth, back and forth.
It looked actually already over, and we're in time.
Okay.
Not sure if they're aware of it. Probably yes.
So now we see how Alistair's doing a nice grind game, recurring all the time fusion monsters, getting the spell back, fusion summon again, recovering them, doing it again.
I think Farid is thinking about what he wants to summon.
That's a great question.
Going for game doesn't look possible, because there's no fire monster in Merlin's grave.
Or he's playing maybe 3 Mechabus to stun even harder, because the Miscellaneousaurus is already gone. Let's see here. Oh, ha!
He plays a third Mechaba.
He's playing 3 Mechabus.
Okay, then it could be actually possible to go for game, I think.
Now he has a lot of... Does he play any rank 4s? Now he would be even able to go into something like Utopia Lightning and directly game him through the Oviraptor almost.
Didn't he normal summon the Alistair this turn?
Yes.
Okay, so, and where does he get the second level 4 monster?
Excuse me?
Where does he get the second level 4 monster?
He has 2 Alistairs on his field. It's 2 Alistairs right now.
It should be actually a scythe.
Ah, actually, yeah, you're true.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, I can't see it because the lighting is kind of hindering the view. Yes.
Okay,
so he's going to run over the Aiello.
So 400 there and 2,500.
So what is the trap card that he has drawn? Or what is the other card that he has?
It's Glass Bell.
Another Alistair, of course.
And another... What is it?
Does he have 2 Alistairs maybe? Can't he use multiples in the damage step? That would be pretty
Could
insane.
be another artifact monster, because it really looked like 3 monsters in his hand.
Oh, it's another Sanctum or another Moral Tech play.
We're going to fix that with the glare on the cards afterwards. So Merlin is in tough position because he has to deal now again with a big field.
His boss monster is alive in his hand now, so at least he has some options to get a huge monster to the field, which might be able to change the game.
The question is if it's enough. Like especially as Mechaba is by discarding Alistair also at 3,500, which could be...
It's gonna be interesting now, because he has the Oviraptor still in his hand, to actually search the Miscellaneousaurus to make his entire field completely unaffected by Mechaba. If he opts to do it, because Mechaba can't react to the actual summon of the Ultimate Tyranno, because it's an inherent special summon. So it does not start a chaining, so he can't react to it. But he can react to the Book of Eclipse effect if he wants to activate it. He has 2 Oviraptors in his hand, which is kind of cloggy. So he's going into the battle phase, trying to run over the Alistair. Not the
which
Mechaba.
I think it's alright because Merlin is aware.
Yeah, he will crash in the end with the other Alistair anyways. So he will be able to at least do a little bit of coming back with the Oviraptor getting some resources back, and maybe. Oh, he has a lot of dinos banished. I maybe see a Tyranno Infinite with like 7,000 or 8,000 attack incoming, maybe. Or maybe a Lagia Doka end. I see some plays there.
Yeah, he's thinking about attacking Mekaba because of Elser's in-hand effect,
Yeah.
which is like a mini Honest. Yeah.
Yeah, which he can use during the damage step where he can make them both
3,500.
crash.
Yeah.
Because they both have the same attack now.
So Merlin still has like the main phase 2 to go with
Yeah.
Oviraptor to try to grind back into the game.
I think does he have enough dinosaurs in his graveyard? I think he should have 4 now. When he's trying to get Miscellaneosaurus, then he can go for.
He has 2, as we saw when he flashed his. He vanished kind of a lot through this game.
So he's actually going for the Miscellaneosaurus. I presume he is going to discard it directly. And he has 3 dinosaurs, so I think he will go then for a baby Ceratosaurus, destroying it again with Oviraptor to special summon back another Oviraptor and end the field with a rank 4. I think this is exactly what he's going to do.
And now it looks pretty good for Merlin because I think Farid's face-down card is a bluff.
If it's a strike, then it's a completely different story.
Indeed.
Let's see.
But
Maybe
wouldn't he have like striked the ultimate
yes.
Tyrant Conductor?
No, I think he's going to summon Infinite because this monster will have like 7,000 attack. I think he has like 7 cards banished. So if he is not able to come over this next turn, then it's over. And I think Farid used all his Alistairs now.
It is possible.
At least
it should be two in graveyard, like 1 left in deck, but 1 isn't doing anything against Lagia.
Okay.
So what is going to be?
He also doesn't have an Aelo to go into any synchro plays.
So what could be like a card which gets Farid back into the game?
With his luck, wow, that's a great question.
I mean,
difficult.
A Winterbell wouldn't do that much because could he negate Winterbell with Lagia?
You mean Glass Bell? Glass Bell he can't because she's activating in its in the hand, but he could negate any of the synchro summons in between.
I mean, he could with Glassbell like.
Did he draw another lance? Yeah, he is.
You sure it's a lance here?
I think it's a monster at least, so. It would be a pity drawing all those artifacts all the time, while actually also resolving some sanctums. So it would be like playing just pure artifacts. I think Merlin is able to actually get this game around.
Well, what Farid has to try is like normal summoning the Winterbell. If he drew really a bluff or something like that.
If he has Alistair, he's still good to go.
Okay, so
it's Glass Bell.
Okay. So that's it probably if he's going to negate it with Lagia. Or his face down card is Dimensional Barrier or something like that. Okay, so Lagia, he let through the card.
I just don't know what he can do now with Glass Bell except for searching Ice Bell for later turns, but I don't know.
That's alright because he can just run over Miscellaneosaurus, so Merlin wouldn't have game on field for next turn.
He will certainly have when he's banishing this Miscellaneosaurus to get out an infinite, which will have like infinite amount attack.
Does he have the 4 cards in graveyard to summon it?
I'm not quite sure. I think he has. I think like 2 left. But if he's somehow able to get those materials from Lagia into the graveyard, then he will certainly have 4 materials. So what is he trying to do now?
Well, he has to attack.
Interesting would be also to crash the glass belt to make everything main phase 2, and when he is able to actually counteract the Lagia with a negation of a barrier, then he's able to make a Crystal Wing.
But the question is, what kind of back row or the last face down card, what could it be, which he wouldn't have already used at some point? Like a barrier he would have used last turn to prevent Merlin summoning the Lagia.
No, he's running over the Miscellaneosaurus. Or is he not?
I'm actually curious what they're discussing right now.
I don't know. The problem is...
he probably asked what Miscellaneosaurus is doing when it's just like sent from the field to graveyard, if it can do anything special.
Nothing. But the problem is he has still an Oviraptor in his hand to get even more dinosaurs to get to his infinite when he wants to. So I think this game might be over now. So he also set it his last artifact.
He drew the infinity. Or the
oh
infinity,
wow,
yeah.
this would be a 1 hit. I think he has like at minimum 7 banished. I think there were like 1 Fire Yellow banished, I think then 2 for Baby Ceratosaurus, and then again 4 for another Miscellaneosaurus. I'm not quite sure. So Alancia is also banished. How did the Lancia get banished? I think he fusion summoned with it.
Yeah, okay, so
Tyrant Infinite.
And if the back row isn't a counter trap, which it's certainly not, we will see attack for game there. Or afterwards with Lagia.
Yeah, that's it.
There it is.
Wow.
So
he swung back the game. Swung back
it didn't look that good for Merlin.
Yeah, he actually had a lot of turns. He got a lot of turns from Ferret. I think the only play that I wouldn't agree that he made was not fusion summoning with the face down Alistair, because this way he would have more pressure on the field and be able to do more damage. I think he would be able to game Merlin because he would have the extra 1000 attack, which he needed to actually game him with another Alistair discard. So I think that would be actually the better play to do for him.
Yeah. So I think we're trying to get Merlin for a short interview. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, so we're already back. I think we're going to try to get Merlin at the moment, or our guy Vale.
Let's see.
Who's running around the whole time basically.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the match. That was the first time we are seeing some Invoked playing today. So
I think also a big contender for this tournament because of the strength of Crystal Wing.
Strength of Crystal Wing plus all the extra deck knows that they're playing in their main deck with triple Barrier and triple Sanctum, which they are pretty flexible to stun down the opponent so that he can't do anything.
Yeah.
The only matchup I think is always usually a little bit difficult is all the grass decks, because usually they can outgrind them with the grass, especially Infernoids, being able to like nuke the entire board and getting out monsters which are pretty huge as well.
Well, the question is it possible for Invoke, for example, to counter the Law and Morning decks by playing 60 cards on its own? Or does it have a too big impact on
I
consistency
think
of
the
the deck.
problem is I wouldn't know which engine you would like to put to get those 20 extra cards with Invoke, because Invoked are pretty centric for the normal summon.
Yeah.
For Alistair, they already use field spells, so they can't tech like some funky field spells like maybe Necro Value or something like that. They're already out of the game there. They're also locking themselves down to usually just synchro summoning or summoning wind monsters in general in the first turn when they're using Ice Bell or Glass Bell. So they're
Yeah.
pretty restricted what's going on in this place. It would be a pretty interesting take, because this way they would be able to mill maybe some of the fusions to get them triggered when the Alice is getting vanished through different cards. And playing 60 cards, you wouldn't draw the artifacts that much. So
Yeah.
you would be more effective for the Sanctum plays. Maybe it would be interesting to actually enhance or play more artifacts with the Ignition to have more plays to stop some pretty crucial spells like maybe Barrage or something, in maybe against Infernoids or something, and being able to set the appropriate artifacts to counteract with their plays. Then it would also make more sense to play Lancia in the main deck, because you would have more targets. Maybe Beagle Tech also corresponding to it.
Could be an interesting approach.
Yeah.
I think we're still trying to get Merlin. In the meantime, we got kind of a meta deck breakdown. Like, got here a pretty interesting sheet.
We have a lot of different decks today here.
Yeah, I think the most played deck is Metal Fosu.
Yeah, they're mixed with Invoked. That would be actually a possibility. Yeah.
I think it's
60 cards we have. We have some, I think it's like 48 cards, 40 cards, because it's usually pretty difficult to play Zeus with Metal Force with not going over 40 cards.
but as we can see, I think Su is the most popular, or the engine on its own is
still
very popular. We're going a little bit more into deep after the interview as Merlin is arriving, so just take a second, guys. We're quickly switching the positions.
So we are back now with Merlin Schumacher, who was able to defeat Invoked with 2-1. Pretty impressive, because game 3 looked pretty bad for you. You bricked through multiple rounds, but the opponent was not able to defeat you.
Yeah, I was fucking lucky. Like, to be honest, when I saw my first hand, it consisted of like Twin Twister, Lancea, like the boss monster, Ultimate Tyranno, and 2 more cards that and the counter trap for Yang Zing and 1 more dead card. And I was like, oh my god, this is not gonna go well. And then I ended up pulling it out. I'm so happy about that. The game 3 was absolutely undeserved. I shouldn't have won that.
Yes, it was. I think we spotted a small misplay from the opponent when he was fusion summoning. He was not using his face down Alistair, which we were expecting to get more damage in.
I was so happy he didn't do that.
Yeah, I think you also discussed a little bit about the fusion spells. I mean, you were talking a lot of it.
Yeah, because I was testing fusion. Actually, I was testing Invoked and Zoo the whole time, and I was under the impression that you could not use your cards in hand and cards from field and graves to banish. So you would have to do either or. But apparently you can, so that makes that engine even better. And I'm really happy to have found out about that.
Yeah, that was a pretty lucky play, because you were left like with 1,600 life points. I think that would be sufficient to game you. In game 2, you had some bad luck. You had all the combo pieces except for 1 True King to get the engine going.
like my hand was really good anyway. I had 2 fossil dig and everything, so I could get a lot of plays going. Game 1 I bricked like a brick wall, and then game 3 my hand was terrible as well. But game 2 was a playable hand, so I'm not complaining about that.
So, do you think dinos are the correct choice for this tournament today?
Yes, I actually do, because I didn't have a lot preparation, and I didn't manage to get my zoo deck complete. I was testing the whole time, so I ended up buying 3 starter decks and get the rest of the cards of people. Shoutouts to everybody who I borrowed cards of, by the way. And yeah, the deck is very powerful. Like recently, most of the starter decks that come out are like most of the theme decks that come out in starters are so ridiculous. So I think it's the correct choice, because a lot of people do not know how to play against it yet, and a lot of people do not expect it, so that might give me an edge.
Okay, and do you have anything else you would like to share?
Well, just shout out to my Team United Gozus right here, and shout out to everybody watching, and yeah, stay tuned for more action, and I hope this will be a good event like it is up until now.
Cool, then I wish you good luck with the following rounds. Maybe we'll see you again later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, yeah, we will see you back to round 4 in a few moments.